Alright everyone, I held off on making this video for a few days now just to sort of see what happened with articles that were released, or excuse me, with more information that was released, and sort of just letting dust settle a little bit. It's past 2 a.m. right now. I'm exhausted, but I just felt inspired to make this video right now while it was fresh on my mind. So I just got done watching a video that was posted in regards to this again, which is sort of what triggered me to make this video right now. And I've watched a majority of the videos that have been released about this whole Red Bull Rubik's thing, and I have to say a lot of them have been very good, and I agree with them. I agree with what they're trying to do, but I just wanted to bring my perspective as a WCA member for almost a decade, kind of shed some light on the situation from my point of view. Please note that everything I say in the video is solely my opinion. All the information that I will be referencing are things that I've been able to find via public forums, the Red Bull website, and posts from WCA members and administration. I do have a few notes here just to go over, so I don't really ramble on too much. I tend to have a bad habit of doing that. So yeah, I've been a WCA member since 2008, so I'm coming up on a decade of being a member with them, and I've seen a lot of evolution with the way the WCA is ran and how competitions have been ran, and that's kind of what I really want to talk about majority-wise here. So the WCA recently has had a lot of changes with like the website. They're sort of running things a little more officially, I feel like, and they have some new staff in there, or some new administration that is sort of taking the reins, and like the people like Tyson Mao that were heads of it when I started are not so much involved anymore from my understanding. The point I wanted to make is that WCA competitions have never been the most extravagant. I think that Red Bull could blow a WCA competition out of the water because of all of the monetary backing that they have. Whereas WCA has never really tried to earn money through competitions, which I think is good. I don't think that the WCA should be a profit organization. I think it should stay as a non-profit. But I also don't think that it would be such a bad thing if the WCA started charging like a $15 membership fee a year or something like that, just so that they can generate some more money for the organization to make competitions like Worlds and Nationals a little bit more exciting, to get better venues, to have better news coverage, just to do all kinds of stuff to make the event just a lot more enjoyable for a lot more people. I can tell you that there's been times where I've been at competitions. I was just at one in Little Tokyo a few weeks back, and lots of people come in from off the street or from other like parts of, for this one in particular, there's other parts of the event that the competition was being hosted at. So they would kind of linger in from other parts of the event, and they're really interested. Lots of people see a cube and they all have tried to solve one at some point for the most part. So it's really interesting to watch it being solved in such amazing times. But the limitation for seating, it's uncomfortable sometimes, hard to see. There's just a lot of factors that make it sort of kind of lackluster for the general public, and even for cubing parents and everything. I mean, it's just, the bottom line is that WCA events could be run a lot better with more money, I believe. That's my opinion entirely, though. So I do think that Red Bull could definitely dominate the WCA in that regard. It is interesting to see now that Red Bull, I was told, like, released a statement on their website saying that they're not trying to compete with the WCA. They are trying to work with them, which kind of goes against what a WCA board member, Ron Van Brookum, I believe, that's how you pronounce his name, posted, saying that he felt that they were sort of blindsided because the WCA was doing negotiating with Rubik's, and then next thing you know, this whole Red Bull Rubik's thing came about. So, bottom line, I think that the Red Bull could do a lot of good for cubing if it's approached correctly, because the way things stand right now, there's still a lot of uncertainty, which is why I don't think that people should jump to conclusions. We should kind of wait a little bit to see what happens, because while the cubing community has a huge voice, I think that was proved by the fact that Red Bull had to unlist their promotional video after it seemed like a few minutes of it being posted live because of all the amount of hatred that was generated towards it from the cubing community. So we definitely have a big voice, but I just feel like this could be a good thing if it's handled correctly. Now, this is a business thing between Rubik's and Red Bull and the WCA, so it's going to have to be business moves. That's just the way the world works. So it's going to have to make sense for Red Bull, it's going to have to make sense for Rubik's, and it's going to have to make sense for the WCA. Now, I do think some of the regulations are a little bit ridiculous, but one thing I want to touch on really quickly is the whole no inspection thing. There's a lot of loopholes with this. I saw someone commenting saying that, oh, well, you can kind of inspect the cube as you're setting it down. Well, you can kind of do that in a WCA competition already, but pretty much there are loopholes and there are kind of weird changes to the rules that the WCA has sort of standardized in the cubing community. But one point that I think that people might be overlooking is in regards to the no inspection. Naturally, if you don't have inspection, you're not going to be able to solve as quickly as you would if you had your 15-second inspection time, right? So this could lead to bumping the solve times up a bit. So this might make it more of a chance for more records to be broken, because records are still being broken in cubing, but we're getting to a point where eventually it's getting harder and harder to break these records. Obviously anything could happen, but a record can be broken tomorrow for all I know. But by raising the times, by not allowing inspection time, it's kind of opening the pot for more records to be broken, which is what excites the audience. It excites news outlets. It's just an exciting thing when, oh, the Rubik's Cube world record is broken, right? So I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying that is a sort of viewpoint I have not seen mentioned yet, that I thought was an interesting part of it. The whole, I think taking the best solve out of all 5 instead of doing an average of 5 is a little weird, because someone mentioned you can get a PLL skip, you can get a lucky solve, whatever. But hey, that's how they're doing it. Promotion wise, call it cheesy, say what you will, but at least they're doing it. Red Bull is spending, I would assume, is a considerable amount of money to make these videos and do everything, and they look really good in my opinion. It's something that's never really been done before, and it's cool to see cubing kind of going more mainstream, because it's going to help grow the community, which hopefully can be done correctly. One thing about the sponsorships. So I know that the 3 cubers that were in the Red Bull video are getting a lot of, they're under fire right now, which I don't want to speak and make a generalization for all of them, but I will say, just look at it this way, guys. While I would like to believe, I know I would do, and I know some of my friends would do, and I'd like to believe that, you know, everyone is so, you know, gung-ho, we're all about the WCA, and we're going to turn down money to go compete for Red Bull competitions, be a part of the promotion and help advertise this just because we support the WCA. I think that's the ethical thing to do if you are a WCA supporter and you believe in what cubing is present day, and you don't believe in what it's going to become based on the information that's made available to us currently. But you have to look at it this way. A lot of cubers would like cubing to be a career for them. So turning down X amount of money to come and compete for Red Bull is a really cool and unique opportunity for cubers that not a lot of people have, unless you're a top cuber in the world. So this sort of opens the door for cubers to make more money from it, which I think is something, like I said, whether you agree with that or not, I don't think that everybody has that strong of ethics to where, or they're that strong in beliefs with the WCA that they are going to turn down a potentially large amount of money just because they believe that the WCA is a better organization. Which is unfortunate, but that is the way the world works. So I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong on that, but just something to consider. Before I let this video stretch out too long, we're already coming up on 10 minutes, I just wanted to address one last thing that I've been seeing a lot of over these past few days, and I'm frankly getting a little bit tired of it. I'll see the same people making posts or comments, and they're just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on one side of the fence. It's like, guys, don't be so quick to make these crazy accusations and posts and hate threads or or even threads in favor of whatever, and then go back on what you said a day or a few hours later. It just makes you look ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's frankly, it's not really accomplishing anything. So collect your thoughts before you make a post and stand by what you believe. And obviously, if new information comes to light, then yeah, your opinion can change. But I just, I mean, the way people change their minds so quickly is just astounding to me. There's one situation in particular I don't want to elaborate on, but everybody was very pissed off about it, and then all of a sudden a video is made, and now everybody is all like, oh, well, that's okay now, just because this person's side of the story or this organization's side of the story has been brought to light. But you got to hear both sides of the story, guys. We've heard the WCA's side of it. Red Bull, as far as I know, has not come out and made an actual official statement about the whole thing. We've only seen posts on their website or editions or whatever. So until Red Bull makes an actual statement and Rubik's makes an actual statement about this, I don't think it's fair to only take one side of the story. Am I saying things don't look bad or they don't look good? Like I said, I'm trying to stay what's what I'm looking for? Non-biased or kind of mutual. This is what I get for doing videos late. I'm trying to stay kind of just in the middle of both of it. I don't really have a strong opinion yet because for myself there isn't enough information brought to light yet. So bottom line, guys, it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. It was very cool for me to see. This is really the first time I've seen the cubing community come together like this and have their voice actually make something. Like, the cubing community caused Red Bull to pull down a video. That's crazy. Red Bull's a huge company. So, like I said, I just thought this was a very interesting situation. I've been involved in cubing for a very, very long time, and I've never seen something like this come to light. So, who knows? Hopefully it can be a good thing. Fingers crossed. If you guys have any questions or whatever, we can start a discussion down below, but I do ask that you keep it positive. If there's any just spam or outright hate comments to one side, to one company or organization or another, it'll probably be deleted. I don't want my comment section to be polluted with all of that. I want it to stay as professional and as possible and just have it be a healthy discussion. So that's my side of it, guys. I hope that I was able to shed some light on this. If you guys have not yet heard about this, which I find very unlikely at this point, like I said, hopefully everything I said is good. Like I said, it's past 2 a.m., so hopefully I don't look back on this video and regret anything I said. If I do feel there's a follow-up video that is necessary, or if any edits need to be made to this video, I will do so. So, alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this, and yeah, happy cubing, and see you all in the next one.